There are good educators all over the world, but today we're going to be representing some great educators. Great educators lead with heart, keep students at the center of everything that they do, and go above and beyond the norm, advocating for the underserved and creating pathways of success for everybody. Today we are here to celebrate the finest in the region. CEEM, Cooperative Economic Engagement Movement, is you. 150,000 people strong, coming together to speak with one voice. Leadership, advocacy, integrity, and success are some of the pillars of connection. As we begin our program, I would like for those of you who are social media savvy to break out your phones and take pictures and post to your accounts with the hashtag Join CEEM, hashtag 150,000 strong. At this time, I would like to introduce the greatest educator I know, my mother, Dr. Judy White.
Good afternoon. I know that some of you arrived when it was still morning, and we want to thank you for enduring the heat, but there's nothing like sacrificing your time to honor great educators. We would like to acknowledge the Transformational Leadership Consortium and their work with educators in building strong instructional leaders. If they would stand right now, anybody that's a member of the Transformational Leadership team. They were our sponsors for the beautiful awards, and we appreciate them so much. There are several categories listed, and we have outstanding educators. There was a committee that came together to say who are some of the best and brightest contributors in our region. So the educators that are being honored today will represent Pomona Unified School District. They will represent San Bernardino County and Riverside County, those areas. And we are so pleased to say that there are so many more that were nominated, but these are the people that have been selected by the committee to be honored today. We're going to ask them to take, the people who introduce them will only take 1 minute, and then those who come and to receive their award, they will be able to give a response to the audience, and they will have 2 minutes. We do have someone in the front, Dr. Freeman. She's going to give you 30-second warning after your minute and 30 seconds. So for those of you that have a hard time with time, you are going to be given a reminder because we have to stay on track. There's another group coming in at 1 o'clock, so we have to be finished. And we might even have to pause sometimes for the train. So we're going to make sure that we stay on time. But we want to also tell you that we want to begin with a song. We have a professional singer, Corinthian Buffington Jones, who's going to dedicate this song to you. The song is I Believe I Can Fly, because we believe that each and every educator, it doesn't matter your role, you have helped someone in your area to be influenced to fly. So we're going to begin our program with I Believe I Can Fly, sung by Corinthian Jones.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an old song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking time. achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, 'cause I believe in me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I can fly. I can fly. I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I can fly. You can fly. I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I can fly.
I saw some people mouthing along while she was singing, and you know what? She sang that song. Let's give her another round of applause. Before we introduce our first recipient, I would like to acknowledge a few people in the audience. I have to mention Jesus Holguin and Dr. Keziora and board member Susan Smith. I have to say your names because you guys were here at 9 o'clock this morning, and we appreciate you. Could you please stand? Dr. Dale Martian was here for those receiving an award from San Bernardino City. He was here as well this morning. But everyone in this audience, you are special because you are here because you recognize the importance of educators in the field. And so the names that we will be calling are people that have gone above and beyond in their roles as an educator. And the first educator is going to be introduced by Kalandra Jolly, who is an assistant principal of Pomona High School. So Kalandra will be introducing the educator.
Thank you, Dr. White. It's such an honor to be here to acknowledge all of our educators. So good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Vicki Allen, our first recipient of the Outstanding Educators Award. Mrs. Allen has taught students with special needs for 20 years. She is an above and beyond teacher at the Alessandro Elementary School in San Bernardino Unified School District. She has been known as the teacher whisperer because she consistently uses a soft voice to command their attention. She has taught numerous students who were told they couldn't read how to read. Her students call her Mrs. Allen, Mama, Daddy, Grandma, and other terms of endearment because they know she loves them and holds high expectations for each and every one of the children. She's been married for 44 years to Mr. Charles Allen. She has 3 children, Janice, Charles Jr., and Robert, and 4 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome teacher extraordinaire, Mrs. Vicki Lynn Allen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm not a public speaker, but I feel so honored and thrilled to be recognized. So I did have like a little note, so I'm going to just read it. And it says, I would like to thank CEEM for this award. I would also like to thank my husband, Charles, who makes my life so easy. He makes it so easy by cooking and driving me to work every day. So I just have to go to work. He's right there for me, supporting me all the time. I also would like to thank my children who have always volunteered and helped me set up the classroom when I needed it. And I also would like, so when I decided to become a teacher, it wasn't hard because I always worked with students that had special needs. So it was just felt like that was home for me, and that was something that I did. One of the things that really is important for me is that the parents always come back and say, when I brought my child to you, they couldn't read, and I was reading to them, and now they are reading to me. So it's just, I have high expectations for the students, and they always rise to that occasion. I am a soft-spoken person in the classroom, and I don't yell, and they love that, and I love that about them. So I teach them to be calm and quiet and not to be nervous like me. I do love seeing students with special needs rise to the level of high expectations. And parents often ask me to go with them to middle school, and I tell them no, that they'll be fine, that they need to have a different experience. So without anything else, I just want to thank everybody for being here, and I want to just thank you. I just feel so honored for this award. Thank you.
I would rather people be nervous out here than be nervous in the classroom, because the classroom is where it's at. That's where it's at, and that's why you're being honored. You're being honored for what you do for students. Thank you so much, Mrs. Allen. Next, we will have Dr. Shanae Bowman, an Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, to present the award to our Principal of the Year. Dr. Bowman.
Okay, you guys caught that right, because I just started my doctorate program, so she's already claiming it for me, which means I can't quit. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I am so excited and honored to kind of talk to you about somebody that has been a transformational leader, not only in education, but in my life as an example. So like Dr. White said, my name is Shanae Bowman. I currently serve as Assistant Sup in Upland, and I'm a co-founder of TLC, the nonprofit focused on engaging communities, empowering our youth, and really creating a culture that embodies what it means to be agents of change. I'm excited to introduce to you a woman who epitomizes being a transformational wife, mother, and currently serving as a phenomenal principal in San Bernardino City Unified School District. Mrs. Handy is a triple force because she is a bilingual Black woman. And her excellence really is marked by her goal to be the highest achieving elementary school in her district. She's going after this goal by relentlessly pursuing excellence, being a results-driven leader, a student advocate, and a voice for the voiceless. After just her first year as a principal, she yielded some of the highest growth in student performance on state standards in San Bernardino City schools. I think that deserves a round of applause by itself. She also created a professional learning framework, which has become a gold standard for the district. And if you ask her how high can kids achieve, she will tell you sky is the limit, because there is no limit to what a transformational educator can do when it comes to igniting kids to achieve at high levels. So audience, please join me in a warm welcome for Transformational Leader and Principal of the Year, Mrs. Keisha Handy.
Okay, so this was a complete surprise. I thought the TOC members would be here and Shanae Bowman would be the one speaking for TOC and we were getting a TOC award. So I did not know I was getting this award until I sat there and they put this on me. I'm like, what is this? So I am completely caught by surprise. However, I am so honored to receive this because she's right. I believe that kids can do all things, and it's dependent upon the adults in the room or in that organization. This year, when my staff came back, they were so elated when I showed them 26% growth in ELA and 19% growth in math. So what you can do in 1 year and the years before that was only 3 and 4%. Together we can do this. My favorite quote it's an African or a slave quote. It says, I can go fast by myself, but I can go far if I take somebody with me. So that is something that I speak very clearly to our staff. We are tired of trying to fix kids. It's not the kids that's the problem. It is us. And if we join forces together and we do this thing together, we are all educated, we are all professional, and we all have a heart for kids, so we can do exactly whatever it takes for our students. And it was shown that in 1 year, what we can do if we do this together. So I'm so grateful for this CEEM award. It was a surprise, so I wish my husband was here to share it with me. He's at the football game with my son, because I said, oh, it's just the girls. It's okay, honey. You don't have to come. But dang, I wish he was here to see this. So this is such an honor. Thank you, Dr. Judy White, for this, and thank you, my TOC members. Can you stand and we can get a picture together, because I didn't do this by myself. I can go far with them. Can y'all come up here real quick, because I got some more time. I need 30 seconds. Come on. 30 seconds, and I want you all to see us in unity. We're missing Francine. She's not here. And if we can get a picture, because these are my girls and my community, my village. I can't do anything without them. So thank you.
All right, now we are moving forward with the Counselor of the Year. So the Counselor of the Year is Guinevere Pittman of Arroyo Valley High School, San Bernardino City Unified School District. Guinevere started as a middle school math and science teacher from 1999 to 2004 before transitioning into her life purpose as a counselor. As a middle school counselor, she founded Girlfriend 101, which focuses on the needs of the teenage female demographic. This program is still a difference maker in SBCUSD and serves as a platform for intervention in regard to the behavior, social-emotional, academia, and attendance issues our female students may face. Her success was rewarded with the opportunity to lead as head counselor at Arroyo Valley High School in her current position, where she oversees a comprehensive driven model counseling program, which has been the driving force behind the increased graduation rates for Arroyo Valley High School students, the African American student in particular. Guinevere's educational background includes a BS in psychology with an emphasis on human development, master's in educational counseling with a PPSC credential. She has a multiple subject teaching credential. She's been married to her best friend, Amadeus L. Pittman, Sr., for 32 years, and they have 2 children, Jasmine and Amadeus Jr., and 1 granddaughter. All right, Gwen Pittman, over all the noise that's celebrating you, please come up and receive your award.
I appreciate that. And I want to start off by saying thank you to my husband, who's always been my support, my sounding board. But I also want to say thank you to Dr. White. 15 years ago, this lady came into my life, and she has made an impact that's been tremendous to me. Also, I want to say thank you to Dr. Dale Marsden that was here today to help celebrate this with me. He has brought to our district an opportunity that has never existed in the last 19 years that I've served, and that's called making a difference. I spent the last 2 weeks in the classrooms talking to my students there at Royal Valley High School. It's a student population of 2,700. And as I speak to those students, as someone had mentioned before, I believe it was the poetess that said, transparency is everything, and those kids see through you. I speak to my kids or my students as a place of adulthood. I speak to them as a seed for growing, and from the birth of it, it comes generations to come and families to be had in that community. I believe in building impact and making a difference in the community with the capacity that will take them to the next level. I applaud CEEM. You represent what it is to be a community. You've brought us together from all facets of life. I thank you, and once again, Dr. White, thank you for making hope happen in my life.
Some of the people will become teary because they are unsung heroes in our community, but we know the work that they do. Before we introduce our next awardee, I want to acknowledge Dr. Devorah Lieberman. She is the president of University of Laverne. Please stand. Next, we will have the Superintendent of the Year that was nominated by the committee, Mr. Terrence Davis. Mr. Terrence Davis is leading an organization that's committed to fostering student growth and high-impact instruction. Superintendent Davis is leading Beaumont Unified, a growing district, in their mission to provide high-quality educational opportunities for all students in a safe and secure learning environment through a shared commitment among home, school, and the community. Mr. Terrence Davis succeeded Dr. Maureen Latham on July 9, 2016, as the new superintendent of the Beaumont Unified School District. Superintendent Davis joined the Beaumont Unified School District in 2012 as the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. He has served as a Director of Human Resources for the Temecula Valley School District and also was Director of Special Education for the same school district. Superintendent Davis also was a program specialist and special education teacher in the Alvord Unified School District. He has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from California State University, Long Beach, and a master's degree in special education from National University. Through his leadership, they have helped students to be college and career ready. At this time, Mr. Terrence Davis.
Well, good afternoon. I am honored to accept this award, and there's a few things I would like to share with you. First of all, the work of equity. It is challenging work in a school district, but it is the work that needs to be done. And we do that work through learning about equity and compassion. And we're reaching students through their lens, not just the teacher's lens, so we can understand where our students are. Secondly, I had a great opportunity this summer to go on something called the Footsteps to Freedom, being developed by Black Voices, an organization that's in San Bernardino County. We started in Ohio, we went to Kentucky, we went to Michigan, Detroit, we went to Canada, we went to New York, and we followed the Underground Railroad through all of these different states, and I have to tell you, it changes the way you see the world. As a young man growing up in the Black community, I was upset and angry, and I grew up around that time where it's fight the power. And remember the medallions that we used to wear. And I was angry, and I took courses at Cal State Long Beach. And going through this experience again, I'm proud. I am proud what our ancestors did when we came to this country to work together to get what we are today. We have progress, but we have to keep going. And so how I bring that to the classroom is that we have to ensure that we're telling our students to be proud of who they are, not robbing them of who they are, but saying you can do this and sharing our story with them. The last thing I want to share with you in terms of student contribution in Beaumont Unified, our graduation rate in Beaumont is roughly about 90%, which will increase when we get our next data pool. Our student group of African Americans is 95%. So I'm really proud of that work, and we hope to continue to keep going. Thank you very much for this honor.
As you listen to the voices of the awardees, you can see why they have been selected as the Person of the Year in their category. We also want to make sure that we did not neglect our classified employees that are so important in a school system. And so we looked around, and the nominee for a classified employee, but he's really a manager. He's really somebody that supports the district where he serves, is a chief of police. So we're going to acknowledge our school law enforcement educator of the year, Mr. Joseph Polino. In July of 2010, I know you guys want to clap. Clap when he comes up, though. Yeah, his wife said, no, I'm clapping now. All right, that's fine. In July of 2010, Joseph Polino was sworn in as interim chief of the San Bernardino City Unified School District's Police Department. The Board of Education appointed him to the permanent position in October of 2014 as police chief. He oversees a department of 26 sworn police officers, 55 campus security officers, and more than 10 support staff, including dispatchers. The department is responsible for ensuring the safety of the district's 53,000 students, as well as protecting district's property. Under Joe's leadership, the district formed a Safe Schools Task Force in 2012 to improve school safety. He works with parents and students, and he has been very faithful to his community and also service clubs. I know for sure that he actually went to the FBI school too, isn't that correct? So he has many, many awards under his belt and also experiences and credentials. So at this time, understanding that Chief Polino earned a master's degree in public administration and a Bachelor of Science in Workforce Education from Southern Illinois University, we are going to acknowledge him as the Educator of the Year in the area of support and law enforcement to schools. Chief Joseph Polino.
It's good to be here. You know, I'm always reminded in moments like this, of that urgency to give thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. White and we go all the way back to about 96 in terms of our struggle to make sure that we take care of our district kids. So my heart is full today for this award. They say that you should never forget in terms of your gratitude for value given. So thanks for giving me value. I do this work as legacy work to make sure that someday when my name is mentioned, that it says that Joe Polino came here and he did work that matters for our community. So I'll share with you some numbers. About 8 years ago, when I took over the department, we issued about 5,000 citations to community's kids. 5,000 citations was issued out of our district to the 50,000 plus kids in our district. Today's date, good people, it's about 200 citations that's given across our system, 200 of them. And sometimes you're reminded that leadership is hard work. So in my study of people like Nelson, it reminds me that we stand guard over the most powerful system known to man, which is an education. So good people, I take that responsibility seriously, and the men and women that does that work take that responsibility seriously as well. So I'll share with you a quote that I created. Be careful standing next to a leader. Leadership is contagious. It's like a disease that may spread on you. So for me, my heart is full. On behalf of the men and women that stand in line to make sure that our community's kids are safe, as well as our community, thank you very much. Thank you for honoring me. God bless you and keep you.
I hope you heard what he said. Leadership is contagious. Leadership is contagious, and there are many, many leaders in this audience. I also want to remind you that after our program today, we want to invite you to the CEEM booth over there because we want you to learn more about CEEM and what it is and what it can do for our community. At this time, we are going to ask a former board member to introduce our board member of the year. We have one of our committee members, Dr. Denise Fleming, who's going to come forward, and she's going to introduce Mr. Cleveland Johnson. He is the board member of the year, Mr. Cleveland Johnson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Denise Fleming. I'm here to introduce Cleveland C.J. Johnson. Since 2010, Mr. C.J. Johnson has been serving the Moreno Valley Unified School District as a board member. He began his public service by enlisting in the United States Army or Air Force, serving worldwide in various locations, including Europe, Vietnam, and Western Asia for 20 plus years. After leaving the service, he began a career in logistics where he became an expert in all facets of distribution, supply chain, and sales. CJ has served as president, vice president, and currently the clerk for the Board of Education, which shows his dedication and support to the Moreno Valley Unified School District. Mr. Johnson, as a board member, has provided assistance to one of his district's parents when he discovered she was temporarily homeless, demonstrating what it means to lead with compassion. Let's give him a hand for that. He also continues to work as an advocate for and motivate staff members throughout the school district. He attends as many events as he can and remains actively involved. Also, CJ has the definition of what it means to be a friend. He won't leave you when times is rough. He stands there to the end, and I'm a personal definition of that. CJ has always stood by my side, and I appreciate that. And I just want to personally say thank you very much. CJ, can you come up now and receive your award? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Gee whiz. Thank you all, and I want to thank CEEM for acknowledging me. I was quite surprised. In fact, when I first heard about it, I was with Dr. Ketziora, and he thought something was wrong with me because I walked away as someone was explaining to me what I was going to be honored with. But anyway, I am very happy to be here. Thank you, CEEM, for this outstanding selection of people, for the work that they have done, and I know that I appreciate being selected. I'd like to take a time to acknowledge my oldest son, Marcus, and his wife, Anita, and my youngest and greatest and straight A granddaughter, Leah. And then I have my daughter, who's also a teacher, Miranda Johnson. She goes by that as well. She's going to probably be angry with me when I say this, but who cares? But she was a cheerleader. No, she was a dancer for the Clippers for 4 years, and now she's teaching youngsters, and they don't even know anything about her. And then I've got my youngest one, Darren, who's got his wife with him, Susan, and my youngest grandson who just graduated high school, Miles. So thank you guys for being here. And then I do want to acknowledge my colleagues again, Mr. Jesus Ogin, who's taught me so much. When I started in 2010, I grabbed a hold of his shirt, and I'm still holding on to it. And then we've got Mrs. Smith, who's our board president. She's always around, and I'm so happy to see her, she and her husband. And then finally, our superintendent, Martin Rex Ketziora. He's everywhere. This man is a wonderful superintendent. I want to thank him. Thank all of you. I certainly appreciate this award, and I will cherish it for the rest of my life. Thank you guys very much.
When I was appointed as a superintendent of Moreno Valley years ago, Mr. Johnson was on that team, so he'll always be special to me because he was part of the team that made that decision for me to be a part. So at this time, we're going to ask Mrs. Hannon, do you have, you're going to be introducing Dr. Shannon, and we have your remarks right here. So Mrs. Hannon is coming forward, and she is an executive director at San Bernardino Community College District, and she will be introducing our next awardee, who is Dr. Henry Shannon. He's our Community College Educator of the Year.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Christina Hannon. I'm the Executive Director of Human Resources at San Bernardino Community College District. However, I started off my higher education career at Chaffey College. So as I started off there as a classified employee, I got the honor of working with Dr. Shannon. And there was nothing like the college president to come downstairs and greet you, know your name, know what you're doing, and respect your work. So as I've traveled through to various community colleges in my career, and now I'm responsible for hiring our next leaders and college presidents, I'm able to instill in them what I call the Dr. Shannon treatment and say, you can know everyone's name, you can know everyone's role, and you can support everyone that works under you because Dr. Henry Shannon does it every single day. Dr. Shannon has been a leader in higher education for more than 4 decades. Since 2007, serving Chaffey College to create a stronger sense of community with a strong focus on graduation objectives and student retention, that has been his goal. Chaffey College has the highest graduation rate consecutively from 2012 to 2017. Dr. Shannon has encouraged campus stakeholders to support students in and outside the classroom, which has helped to contribute billions of dollars into I don't have the second part of the poem. Help contribute to billions of dollars into the economy. Am I going to read this now too? Okay. It's for everyone though. And so I also have a poem that is dedicated to all that are being honored, but this one is special for Dr. Shannon. Honoring educators as wonderful as you. Today, on September 8th, 2018, we have been called together to learn more about CEEM. But as we discover what this moment stands for, let's honor our educators who walk through the door. The Educational Committee looks across Southern Cal, examining districts who help students not fail. And they asked the real question, can anyone find educators and friends who serve all of the time? Applications came in and it was necessary to view the accomplishments of many and what they do. And the cream of the crop did rise to the top because when it comes to education, they will never stop. Whether a teacher or principal, administrator or chief, counselor, partner, parent with true beliefs, when you walk away today, you must unequivocally know that you are appreciated for the work you did show. We applaud you, we praise you, we wish we could clone your passion, integrity, and your work ethic alone. Congratulations from Transformational Leadership Consortium. We thank you for your service, going one step beyond. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you. First of all, let me say, give an honor to God. You know, when you talk about getting awards, it's not about me, it's about those who've worked with me over the years that I have. And I'm an old guy. 40 years is a long time, right? Long time. But the 3 principles that I think that have helped me as an educator and as a person are those 3: faith, family, and friends. And having friends like Dr. Sid Panetto, who is here, who's our chair of the Fairplex, as well as all of you and the Boulay, and then family. My wife couldn't be here because she wasn't feeling well, but I brought my grandson, Javion, who's 15 years of age. And if we have been fortunate, my wife and I, to have 10 grandchildren from 4 children. And we make sure that we do what we say because it's all about values. If you don't value your family, Javion, who's here from St. Louis, moved with us because he needed to be with us, his grandparents. I was very fortunate to be raised by my grandmother, Artelia Shannon. And I would tell you right now, she valued education. And she said one thing to me that still resonates today. And she said this, she was an old missionary in the Church of God in Christ, Hakoji. And she said, to whom much is given, much is required. So you educators, you family members, you community members, that village, you are expected to give back. And that's what I've been trying to do, my wife and I, over the years we've been in education. So I want to thank you for this award, but it's not about me. It's about you and what you do each and every day. It's all about our young people. We always say it's best to build men and women than trying to fix them when they're adults. So it's our job as educators to make sure we build them up. These young people you see now, make sure you get behind them and let them fly. So thank you so much, and I'm very honored.
I'm a little shorter than everyone else, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm here to introduce the award for Dr. Angela Luke. And Dr. Luke was unable to be with us today because she is serving her family. So I'm going to go ahead and make this as quick as I can. Dr. Luke is an active community member, and she's also one of the committee members of my current dissertation. She has been my mentor for several years, as well as the mentor of many, many others in Riverside and San Bernardino counties, Los Angeles County, Orange County, you name it. She is an exemplary model who does everything she can to assist students and parents, and she donated her time in Moreno Valley Unified at Serrano Elementary School at our college and career event. She also provides opportunities for aspiring educational leaders to participate in events like mock interviews. She helps with them to practice interview skills, and she also creates opportunities for her mentees to gain additional educational leadership experience whenever she can. So on behalf of Dr. Angela Luke, I hope you will allow me to accept her award, and these are the words that she sent to me for you. Before that, there's a little bit more. She is currently the professor and department chair of educational leadership and technology at Cal State University, San Bernardino. She is the only African American department chair and has been in that capacity for 7 years. She was recently the recipient of the Outstanding Faculty for Teaching in 2015 and Outstanding Faculty for Research Award in 2017. She's originally from Memphis, Tennessee, which is where she is now helping to take care of her 87-year-old mother. She's also a consultant for the Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles for cultural proficiency in schools, and if you ever visit, you will see her name on one of the walls of honor. And Dr. Luke is saying, I am pleased, honored, and humbled to accept this award from the Cooperative Economic Empowerment Movement. A very special thank you to the board and nominating committee for selecting her. She said me, but I'm saying her. Okay. And thank you so much for the contributions you've made to the Inland Empire. Thank you. Okay. And for the next recipient, Ms. Sharika Brown. I'm also nominating Sharika Brown, who is a parent in Moreno Valley Unified. She is the parent of 3 children in one school and a younger child at home. She is a model of dedication and perseverance. While she was temporarily homeless, she continued to volunteer and participate in our school's events, especially serving on our African American Parent Advisory Council. Sharika also volunteered to help our district APAC as a parent representative, and she makes every effort to keep her commitments, even with no means of transportation and without a viable job. However, I am proud to say she is now an employee of Serrano Elementary School as a campus support aide as a sub. And now I would like to introduce Ms. Sharika Brown.
Okay. Well, I don't have a lot of time. I just want to say thank you guys for being here because support means a lot in an individual's development. So thank you guys for being here, and I am so honored. I haven't won anything since middle school, so I'm very honored and excited, and thank you guys so much for being here. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
We have 3 final awardees, and we're going to ask Calandra Jolly to come and to give words of recognition as they accept the award. All right.
Hi. Again, it's a great honor for me to be here, and I'd like to introduce the teachers of the year, Mr. and Mr. Kevin and Keith White. They're twins, and we've honored them because they've been working in our school district for over 20 years, and they teach at the same school. They've went through the University of Laverne together. They've got their bachelor's degree. They both went to Concordia University to get their master's degrees. They teach at the same middle school, One teaches English, one teaches math. They both teach Avid. They've done a phenomenal job with the students that they're with. Their feeder school is Gary High School. They also coach the basketball girls team at Simons Middle School, but they wanted to continue to make an impact with the students as they continued on, so they wanted to be the varsity coaches at the high school. So they became the varsity coach at the high school, so they're able to see the students from middle school all the way to their high school years. And for the first time in the Gary High School history, the girls varsity basketball team made it to state. They went to the third round. So right now I'd like to introduce Mr. Keith White and Mr. Kevin White.
Good afternoon. I'm definitely not going to take 2 minutes, so it'll be really quick. First, I'd like to thank being given this award. I thank the CEEM organization and Dr. Judy White. Also, I'd like to thank Ms. Calandra for nominating us for this award. Pretty much, I started, been in teaching 21 years, and when I first started, I just wanted a job and get out of my mom's house, sharing a room with him. So it's been a blessing to do 21 years. I'd like to thank Emmett Terrell. He's back there. He the one gave me an opportunity to teach in Pomona Unified School District. It's been a blessing. I've raised a son through teaching, raising grandkids now, 3 grandkids. And it's just an honor to give back to my community. I went to Fremont Middle School and Gary High School. So to give back to my community is really a great honor. And I just, once again, like to thank the CEEM organization and my family for coming out in this hot weather. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith and Kevin. At this time, I would like to introduce our District Employee of the Year, and that'll be Mrs. Stephanie Baker. She is the Deputy Superintendent, Chief Academic Officer of the Pomona Unified School District. She has been an elementary school elementary school and middle school English teacher, a site administrator, and she has won both the National Blue Ribbon and California Distinguished Schools Awards. At the district level, she has served as a Director of Professional Development, and Administrative Director of Categorical Programs and Professional Development. A graduate of Oakwood College and a historical black college in Alabama, Stephanie Baker holds a bachelor's in education and a master's in education from Chicago State University. She serves on numerous committees, and under her specialty of the district, she has received many awards, including 2 Golden Bell Awards from California School Boards Association and 7 Golden Ribbon Awards from the California Department of Education. She's been married for 35 years. She has a wonderful granddaughter and 2 beautiful children. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge Mrs. Stephanie Baker.
Thank you very much. This is quite a surprise. I actually retired last week from 45 years in education. And over the last several weeks and months, there's been a lot of reflection on why did I choose education and would I choose education again? Absolutely, yes, I would. As a graduate of a historical black college, I had the privilege often to go back to graduation. And one of the things that struck me 3 years ago was that while I was very proud to see the large number of students graduating from the HBCUs that are going into pre-med and going into law, a very small group are choosing education. And that's troublesome. As Dr. White talks about, and thank you so much, Judy, for your leadership, talks about leaders, growing leaders, and leaders being there for each other. When we think about what we want to see happen for children in the classrooms, it's not going to happen unless we are actively involved at all levels, that we are teachers, that we then become policymakers and college presidents and university staff members so that we can have that greatest impact. It's important for our children to see us, to see someone who looks like them. And I'm reminded of what God did when He wanted to give of His best to us, when He wanted to build relationships with us, which is what we want to do with our children. He sent His Son, and He didn't send His Son looking like Him. He sent His Son looking like us, clothed in humanity. And what our children need to see, what our Dantes and Lakeishas need to see, are African American people who represent the characteristics, the qualities that Dr. Shannon talked about, that his grandmother raised him with. That's what they need to see. So as I leave my 45 years in education, I'm reminded of a quote that Horace Mann spoke, that prolific educator from many, many years ago on public education. Be ashamed to die until you have won a victory for mankind. For each one of us, no matter what it is that we do, whether we're serving as educators or whether we're supporting education, we should not die. We should be ashamed to die until we continue the work of winning victories every day, big and small. And my mantra has always been excellence for every student in every classroom every day. All of us have a role to play in making that happen, no matter what our title happens to be. Thank you very much, CEEM. Thank you very much, Dr. White.
They told us very clearly to start on time and end on time. So we actually have 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we're going to ask our last singer to come up. And she's singing Only What You Do for Christ Will Last. Now, the mic might turn off after 1 minute and 30 seconds, but at least she's going to begin the song. So, Corinthian? Okay.
You may build a great cathedral. It may be large or small. You may build a skyscraper, grand and tall. You may conquer all the failures of your past, but remember, only what you do for Christ will last. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do for Him will be counted in the end. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last.
So the education hour is over. We also see Mr. Reggie Webb, the founder of CEEM, in the audience. Wave your hand, Mr. Webb. Please go to the CEEM station to find out more about CEEM. Thank you for your sacrifice of time on today, and thank you all the honorees and family. Thank you.